Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan, and in today's video we're going to go over one of the worst deals that I've done. So you see a lot of people talking about their great deals and how much money they made, but I think you learn more from mistakes than you do from your wins. So in this video, hopefully you guys will learn watching the mistakes I made, and if you stay through the whole video, you'll see all the mistakes that I made while conducting this deal. Now luckily, I did not lose any money in this deal. I could have earned $70,000. You got a brand new job and you're working for an entire year, and then they tell you, hey, you know what? Just take us an experience because we're not going to pay you after all the hard work you did. And that's exactly how I felt at the end of that year. We had worked so hard, we had put so much into this deal, and we did not make a single cent. And if you want to see more videos like this, please like, please subscribe, and here we go. So first, let's go over the numbers. The numbers were great, right? So usually I would say the number one thing you want to look into is just the numbers. And for this deal, the numbers made sense. We bought the property at $300,000. We're going to put $180,000 towards construction costs. We're going to put $40,000 into holding costs and $40,000 into closing costs. So at the end of the day, we're going to be about $560,000 in, and we're going to be selling at $630,000. So we had a good buffer there of $65,000 to $70,000 that we were going to be able to make. And this is where the first lesson comes in: funding the deal. So the reason, and this is the main reason why this deal was one of the worst mistakes, is because of the way it was funded. So we funded it with no money down. We had a hard money lender that said, okay, we'll give you the house with no money down. We'll cover all the construction costs, but we will need not just that house as collateral, but we'll need your house as collateral. So we were so sure and we were so eager to get into this project that we were said, yes, let's get this done. And that was what made this deal so risky, because we were putting our own house into the deal and saying if we lost this deal, then we would potentially lose our house too. And that kind of put everything, all our eggs into one basket. So controlling your emotions, making sure you as a beginner, you're slowing things down. Anytime you're investing, whether it's the stock market, whether it's real estate, it doesn't matter what it is, you want to make sure you're controlling your emotions. You want to make sure you're doing things reasonably and you're doing things logically. And us going into the fact that we put our house into the deal, it didn't matter how strong of a deal it was, that was not the smartest thing to do. Lesson number 2 was not getting several quotes. We had worked with a previous contractor. We just finished our first deal. Everything went great with the contractor. We said, okay, let's go into this guy with this guy. We already know him. We already trust him. So let's continue on working with this guy. And he gave us a quote. We trusted it, right? Because again, we just finished the work on the previous job with him. We didn't go and get other quotes. And it ended up costing us, because we were under budget from $180,000, ended up being a project of $224,000. And if you just looked into the amount of work that needed to get done, you knew it was obvious that it was going to be more than that. So, bringing other contractors just to make sure you have checks and balances in terms of the numbers is essential, because now you're going to be like, okay, why are we coming so low? What's happening that we're at 180 and everybody else is in the 220, 250. Which brings us to lesson number 3, which is timing. We did not put a clause in the timing, right? So what happened was eventually the contract took so long that it extended everything. So this started adding up. Now we had a bigger budget for the construction costs. We have another $30,000 into the holding cost. And this was an interest-only loan, so we were paying about $5,000 to $6,000 when you include taxes on a monthly basis. So every month that we stayed in this deal was going to cost us more and more and more. Timing, you want to make sure you put a clause in the contract that you're saying, hey, you're saying you're going to complete it in this amount of time. The contractor has said we're going to finish it in 4 to 6 months. So there has to be something in your contract that states, let's agree upon a certain time and make sure if that doesn't happen, then this is going to happen. Now, lesson number 4 was having a buffer for emergency. So around this time, what happened? I lose my job. So right around the time what happens, I lose my job. And, my job was basically the way that I was paying for the holding costs during the time. So not having that now changed everything. So now this is when you start losing sleep, right? You have a contractor that's taking longer, is disappearing from the job. You don't have a job. And you have holding costs that are just adding up on a monthly basis. So this is when I said, all right, we have all these things going on. Let me just go full out. I at least had the time. I started contacting the subcontractors directly. I said, okay, guys, this is what needs to happen. So I explained the situation that I was in, and, they were like, okay, we're going to help you out. We're going to get this done. Electricians, the plumbers, they all just call me directly. And then, I would then talk to the contractor, and that's how I was able to get the project across the finish line. I just basically took over. And because of this fact, I learned so much, right? I learned how to deal with the subcontractors. I learned what things they needed to get done. I learned the entire process of the project. And it was because of this that I was able to eventually build a $5 million rental portfolio that we have today. And it's because it's this one very deal. So even though we didn't make any money, we're able to learn so much from this deal because we had so much at stake, and we had to just put it all on the line, and it forced us to have to make it work. So lesson number 5 was paying for closing costs. And then here again, we got beat. So instead of selling the house at 630 that we anticipated, what happened is we sold the house at about 625. Then we give the seller another $5,000 credit. So now you're looking at 45,000 instead of the original 40,000 for closing costs. Then we had the holding costs went from 40,000 to 60,000, and the construction costs went from 180,000 to 224,000. So all that added up to about $630,000. It's just the price was lower, so we ended up just breaking even at zero at that point. We basically earned our house back, and we gained so much knowledge from it. Sometimes we think that we don't want to get into these issues, but sometimes you do, and you learn from them. And we luckily were able to come out earning a lot of knowledge from this deal. Now we're able to bring that to our projects and learn from all the mistakes, creating processes that helps us make sure that these things don't happen again. So for you, if you're starting out from the beginning, there's a very good video to just keep in the back of your head as to things that you want to make sure that you go over before you get into a deal. Make sure you go out there and meet other people that have gone and done this before, because it has been done before, and you will make mistakes. But the thing is, you're gonna get knocked out, but get up, do it again, and make sure that you learn from every mistake that you make, and you will get better and better as you go. So thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and comment below and tell me what are the mistakes that you have done that had helped you achieve your goals. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.